everyone. Well, welcome back to UFO UAP First Contact with me, Lad from the Woods. And I'd like to talk to you guys about this paper that just came out. I'm just trying to find something for you guys here. I think I'm on the wrong browser. I want to read you something that, okay, where is it here? There it is. I had, just give me a second here. There we go. Okay, so now I got to go to UFO. Oh, I think I don't think I downloaded those. Actually, I ended up having a bad thing happen. My D drive died, and it was still doing exFAT32, so I had to completely format it. So I reformatted it into NTFS, and now it's working fine. But as a result, I lost everything. So, oh, I know where to find what I want to read you guys. It's on my Twitter. It's a good thing that I have my Twitter to be able to go back and look at stuff here. Just give me a second here. Where are those papers? Anyways, it's to do with the Canadian Member of Parliament, okay? And I'm going to explain a few things to you Americans, because Jamie and George really didn't get it right about how Canadian. First of all, Jack, Jesus Murphy, where is this? Oh, maybe I can just do media. Is that how that works? Get those pictures. Hang on, guys. I'm going to read it to you. I mean, Jeremy's already done that, but see what I have, and I sent it to Jeremy and them, but none of them got back to me about this. And this is you know, it's part of what Jeremy and them about this letter from the Canadian minister here. Okay, I'm not finding it here. Oh, wait a minute. The 2021 Canadian UFO survey, is that it? No. Oh boy, where is it? God, did I do that many? Looks like I've done that many. Wow. All right. Let's see if I can just find it. Canadian. Sorry, guys. Really am. Canadian, not Canadian Tire. Canadian UFO letter. Okay, Manitoba MP. Okay, first of all, Jeremy, Larry Maguire is just simply a member of Parliament. He's not part of the actual operating government. He's what's called in opposition. So he can put things up, he can ask for things, but it doesn't mean the government's going to pay attention to it. Again, he can ask our defense minister, all that. Again, they'll either pay attention or don't. I'll tell you that our politics isn't a whole lot different than the Americans. There's a lot of people that don't get along. Anyways, let's read this letter. It's dated March 22nd, 2023, okay? Defense Research and Development Canada is in possession of recovered UAP material. Dear Minister Anand, that's the defense minister who is actually sitting in Parliament as a member of the government, not just a member of the Parliament or a member of opposition like Larry Maguire is, okay? It has come to my attention through meetings and American officials that the United States Senate Select Committee on Intelligence and Senate Committee on Armed Forces have been undertaking in-camera hearings with government and military subject matter experts on the recovery and exploitation of physical material from unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP. I am concerned that expected upcoming public announcements will be coordinated between AUKUS, A-U-K-U-S, which could damage Canada's credibility with our allies. Well, I don't think they really care whether we know about UFOs or not, but that's his version of things. Will be coordinated, and the Canadian public. Now, the Canadian public should be super pissed off because, to me, it's a a crime against humanity for hiding this information from us, okay? All right, there is an opportunity to have a prepared communication plan in place by May 2023 to reduce this risk. Well, that's a couple of months ago. As Minister of National Defence, you may not be aware, Deep Defence Research and Development Canada, DRDC, has participated in efforts to analyze UAP, which is publicly traceable to circa 1950. Now remember this date, 1950, because what I'm going to read you that hasn't been put out, I've sent it to Jeremy and everybody else, but they completely ignored me. And I'm not mad at them or anything. I'm just one of millions of people that probably contact them. This recovered, remember, 1950. This recovered foreign material is studied through the Five Eyes Foreign Material Program, FMP, which in Canada is sponsored by the Canadian Forces Intelligence Command, aligned with several intelligence sharing arrangements and treaties. It's a wonder that the RCMP and CSIS isn't involved here. Anyways, I am writing to recommend you request a classified briefing containing full sensitive and protected program information from your officials on the Government of Canada's historical and ongoing efforts on analyzing recovered UAP material. Canada's Chief Science Advisor has also launched the Sky Canada project, which is investigating how the Government of Canada manages UAP reports. They are in the process of identifying key stakeholder institutions. It is essential that the Chief Science Advisor be given full access to defense programs and be briefed on the collaborative scientific research efforts with our allies. It is imperative the Government of Canada have a communications plan to respond to these upcoming public revelations that will stem from these Americans' FMPs. Not only are there national security and aviation safety concerns that need to be addressed, but there will also be a larger debate about why there is a lack of transparency and accountability regarding UA programs and policy. They've been doing it illegally, that's why. I also believe there must be a parliamentary oversight of efforts, that would be like a committee. Efforts by government institution and responsible ministers should be fully briefed on this program, including releasable to the public content that aligns with allied public disclosures. Well, I don't think anything should be unreleasable when it comes to the UFO question. It is incumbent your department inform you of, page 2, what collaborative efforts have occurred with our allies and the details of existing agreements. Use my old glasses, I can hardly see. And memorandums of understanding that govern the program and may have been coordinated through global affairs. Canada's credibility with our allies and the Canadian public must transcend politics, and I firmly believe we can work together in a bipartisan manner. Regardless of the classified details of specific FMPs, the public relations by these subject matter experts who have testified before Congress present an opportunity for the Government of Canada to take a viable leadership role in confirming the existence of recovered material and balancing our national security obligations. I look forward to your response, and if you seek any further information, please do not hesitate to contact me directly. Sincerely, Larry Maguire, Member of Parliament for Brandon Souris, which is Manitoba. And then he CC'd it to the Honourable Melanie Joly, who she's an MP for the Conservatives. Honorable Omar Al Gabera, he's also MP for the Conservatives, so they're not in government. Then government ministers, Assistant Deputy Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Mona Namer, Chief Science Advisor, Major General Michael Wright, Commander of Canadian Forces Intelligence Command, Canadian Forces Intelligence Command, Office for Release and Disclosure Policy. Wow. That's a long goddamn job description. All right, well, that's all fair, and what he's done, has stirred up some shit, and that's good. But he's not the first. And our government here in Canada, I'm about to show you, has already been busy with this stuff. I am going to put this stuff in the video, so I'll say it right now. I'm going to put the letter right here, and I'm going to put the pictures of the article that I'm going to be reading from now, and I'll be putting up here. And this was already sent to everybody, I think including Larry Maguire, but nobody's responded to me. And I even sent a direct email to Jeremy. You know, maybe he's way behind, but be that as it may. This is the first part. Now I realize you can't see it, so I will be putting it in there, okay? UFO tracking station established near Ottawa, which is our capital here, and I live near here. UFO tracking stations were established just outside of Ottawa, and rumors of government radio towers and underground facilities were heard up and down the concessions in Lanark County. That's where I live. Excavations were reported near Almont, and the government agents were testing the soil on several farms in Ramsey Township. And here's the next picture. Let's see if I can read that. It's pretty blurry. This is part 2 of that article. Saucer Station. The mystery of flying saucers is being investigated by scientists on the grounds of the Ionospheric Observatory of the Transport Department at Shirley's Bay, which is not too far from here, 10 miles northwest of Ottawa. We hope to find something tangible about saucers, said W.B. Smith, engineer in charge. Okay, I'm wondering if is that Wilbert guy that people talk about? Okay. And another article by Richard Jackson for the Ottawa Journal newspaper, which no longer exists. And this was all published in November of 1953. Did I tell you to remember the date? 1950? Isn't that interesting? 3 years later. Okay, so let's continue reading this article. So Richard Jackson at the Ottawa Journal, which was a newspaper at the time, a flying saucer sighting station, first in the world, is being built at Shirley, well, it should be Shirley's Bay, 10 miles west of Ottawa, by the Department of Transport in a coordinated with the Defense Research Board. Responsible for obtaining and installing the electronic equipment, several pieces. Oh, hey everyone, I'm right back there. We'll continue. What happened is that the camera said it was too hot, but the battery is piping hot. I don't understand. I'm inside an air-conditioned place, and here we go with the hot thing. Okay, so we'll get back to it. So I'll start from the beginning of the second article from the Ottawa Journal. Government backs Shirley's Bay site to plot objects, in quotes. A flying saucer sighting station, first in the world, is being built at Shirley's Bay, 10 miles west of Ottawa, by the Department of Transport in a cooperation with the Defense Research Board. Responsible for obtaining and installing the electronic equipment, several pieces of which are entirely new in electronics, is Wilbert B. Smith, engineer in charge of Transport, Broadcast, and Measurement Section of the Telecommunications Division. And we continue. Top scientists associated with him are Dr. James Waite, theoretical physicist of the Defense Research Board, John Hector Thompson, technical information expert of the Telecommunications Division, Professor J.T. Wilson of the University of Toronto, Dr. G.D. Garland, who specializes in gravitational studies at the Dominion Observatory. The new flying saucer sighting station has an appropriation within the Transport Department and a departmental directive to do what you can, this is quotes, to do what you can within the limits of the establishment of the Broadcast and Measurement Section of the Telecommunications Division to prove or disprove the existence of flying saucers, unquote. The men and their equipment at the station, and it will be a 24-hour operation within a few weeks, will seek to determine whether certain sighted but unexplained celestial phenomena follows the pattern of technology postulated by many astrophysicists on the basis of there actually being flying saucers. The station is equipped with an ionospheric reactor, an electronic device to determine the height, pattern, and conduct of the ionized layer of gases, changes in intensity of gamma and X radiation. It is equipped too with a gamma ray detector, and most interesting of all, a gravimeter. This is a new device conceived and built by the men of the Flying Saucer Station to calibrate the acceleration and decelerate the gravitational pull. Wasn't that interesting? It was with that. It was with that Dr. Garland of the observatory assisted, and one of the important parts of the gravimeter came on loan from Professor Wilson of the University of Toronto. Other equipment was built for the specific need off the technological cuff by the saucer staff. That the saucer's in quotes. This equipment in the flying saucer sighting station is wired to alarm bells in the nearby ionosphere station at Shirley's Bay, where a staff of telecommunications experts are on 24-hour duty. So that was written, like I said, in November 11th, 1953. 3 years after that, what, you know, the MP was saying in his letter, okay? Now, from the Ottawa Citizen, I'm just trying to read this. This says it was put in the Ottawa Citizen December 26, 2018, but that must be an old article. Anyway, when reporters attempted to investigate further, the government representatives denied all, despite the fact that local men were working as laborers on many of the projects and could affirm what they had seen. Could confirm. On August 8, 1954, Smith and his team at Shirley's Bay recorded a disturbance they believed was caused by a UFO. Among the observations that day were transmissions being received too rapid for a trained operator to decipher. Just days later, Project Magnet, as it was known, was disbanded without explanation. Okay? So there you go. Isn't that interesting? So I have screen captured the article and the writing that's along with it, and I will put that, you know, as a video for you folks to look at. So basically, the letter that was released by Jeremy and George was released by a minister. So I'm not insulting them, but they didn't do anything that no Canadian could have already gotten. But anyways, they did do it. They were the ones that put it out there. But now, this should connect with that. They should be interested in reading about it and at least give me an answer. You know, like, did you guys know about this? Did you find out about this? I found it quite easily. You know, I know Shirley's Bay. It's a big scientific area. I used to pick up garbage there when I was a kid, 16, 17 years old. Like, stand behind a garbage truck. You wouldn't believe the stuff that we loaded in those trucks. We weren't allowed to even talk about what we were loaded in there. I will say that we brought dead monkeys in bags into the frozen dead monkeys into the back of the garbage truck, and I can tell you where they're buried. You'll never get them. They're buried under a heap of trash the size of Mount Everest. But there was all kinds of weird stuff going on there. Later on in my life, just a few years ago, I poured all kinds of concrete back there, and it's still a very mysterious place, and the security is pretty damn good. I don't think it's as important as it used to be back in the 1950s, 60s, and early 70s. But now, you know, here's a connection to our today's UFO thing. So anyways, I just wanted to let people know that. If anybody knows Jeremy or George or any of these other people, Ross or Bryce, you know, you might want to show them this video or send them to my Twitter, which is Lad from the Woods. My YouTube obviously is at Lad from the Woods, and have them look at this stuff. But if Jeremy just checks his email for not need to know, that's Bryce and Ross, he has an email, like, you know, you can send him stuff so that he can look at it, kind of deal. So anyway, hopefully somebody can get him to look at that, because I think this is worth investigating, and maybe we can find some more documents doing a freedom of information request. I'm not sure if I can do that, or if I even know how to do that here in Canada. So maybe I'll look into it, but I think better off Jeremy or George, or, you know, maybe Rakowski over there in I think he's in Winnipeg. He's like one of our big UFO guys. And who's the other one? Well, David Scott from spaced out radio might be a good guy to have look into that. I don't know if David's really, he's more of like a radio interviewer than he is an investigator, but he knows so many people that could look into that. Actually, Chrissy Newton, she's a girl from Canada, Toronto, I think she's originally from, and you know, she does great UFO shows and all that. So anyways, there we is, folks. So that connects to today, as far as I'm concerned, with this letter from the member of parliament. He hasn't looked at it either. Now, he's not my member of parliament. Out here I've got Scott Reed, and I have contacted Scott Reed, and he never got back to me. So anyways, I think we're a little behind in the States when it comes to the general public with UFOs. There's still a lot of the public here in Canada. It's just like, no time for that, or it's fake, or it's this. We're a little bit behind here. And so as for our military and all the rest of it, of course, they've been lying to us. My second UFO sighting, I never even bothered to report it to the RCMP, which is who you really should be reporting it to, rather than, you know, MUFON or somebody. I mean, you probably should do MUFON, but get the pros in there. The problem is the pros don't believe in it. So anyway, that's a video for another time. I thank you for coming. And yeah, look this up, folks. And if you know Jeremy or George, make sure they see this video or see this article that I dug up that nobody else seems to have dug up. Project Magnet, 1953. And then a disturbance was recorded in 1954, and they shut it all down. So, all right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming. And if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to help out the channels, there's links down in the description to help donate to the channels. It always helps. And everybody be good and be cool. Peace, live long and prosper.